9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning and welcome to, a little bit loud. Welcome to another episode of Ask Elly, Intuitive Insights and Your Psychic Questions Answered. Well, we took a little break and today I am returning with episode 48. And we've got some exciting psychic questions to answer. I'm doing an online reading, and I'm going to be talking about epistemes and what's happening right now with the rift. Okay, and we've got lots of exciting topics to cover in our short half an hour. So I'm so glad to be here with you. And remember that you can always call in live on these calls. All you need to do is hit the microphone and have a headset. All right. So without further ado, here we go. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, well, we've got a few people in the room already. So good morning to everybody. Today, I want to just begin with thanking everyone who has made this switch to Wednesdays with me. And my name is Elly Molina. I am your podcast hostess. I am an educator, an intuitive, and a psychic. And I've been doing this podcast now for nearly a year, and I'm so excited to be here with you. So this morning, I've got a number of questions to go through before I talk about today's topic, which is the rift and the new episteme. And so one, as George Santayana said, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. And we have to talk about that today at some point. But for the first part of this call, let's keep it right to your psychic questions, and here we go. So first caller today is Thomas, and I am closing on my house June 30th and very excited about moving to Stuttgart, Germany. What does the picture look like for career and romantic life? Good morning. So, hey, I want to just, for those of you who've been listening to the past podcasts, I want to let you know that he did it. He put his house on the market and he's closing, and it is all the systems green. And there was a while where Tom, really just wonderful listener and support the podcast. He did it. And of course, he did it through psychotronic power. He did it through the power of his mind. None of this was random stuff. This was pure goal setting and intentionality, and then learning how to use psychotronic power. We spoke about psychotronic power. And then Thomas adds over here, thanks to Elly and the training by Elly. You're very welcome. So psychotronic power is a power that we all have, only a few of us know how to use it. And I do workshops on psychotronic power, and I teach it, and I've spoken about it on some of the podcasts in the past, and I will continue to talk about it on the podcast in the future. And also, if people are interested in learning about psychotronic power, I am offering an online program that you can purchase through Thinkific, and it hasn't happened yet. Oh, and Thomas is saying, I highly recommend them. It is amazing. Thank you. And this sounds like a really big advertisement. Only the thing is that in 30 minutes, I cannot teach everybody what they need to know to create these miraculous miracles in their life. And those people who have worked with me one-on-one in my quantum leaping program and in my mindfulness program, they know, not mind power, the mind power edge, they know the power of psychotronic power because they use it to quote unquote part the seas. And that is exactly what Thomas has done over here. He has parted the seas, and he is now on his way to living in Europe. And if you knew the backstory on this, you'd be so amazed. He now has dual citizenship, something really hard and challenging to get. And he also has a wonderful deal on his home, and he is ready to go. So anyway, I just want to answer his question right now. And since Thomas, since you know how Psychotronic Power works, you know that when you are on your way, you know that your path is open, and this has been, your calling and your destiny, and this is your time right now. And I'm seeing a really golden path lit up. People are waiting for you in Germany. You do have family and friends waiting. Your whole life is about to change. You will look back at your past and you will feel as if, of course, there are wonderful memories in your past. And because, your past has been so rich and richly rewarding, yet you're going to look back at your past and you're going to see that you have literally stepped into a new being. So who you are, you'll look back and you may not even remember yourself. You may not even remember some of the thoughts that you used to think, because your path is so well lit up that as far as career goes, you're going, I don't want to program you or anything, but I do see you consulting and counseling, and you are a wealth of information, whether you are consulting and counseling through healing or even through exercise, your physical well-being, your lifestyle, then of course, being able to use all of the tools that you learned yourself through Psychotronic Power, and to be able to teach that to people and combine it with astrology. So you have years of experience and you've acquired a lot of knowledge, and it is time now for you to really impart this knowledge to other people in such a way that you'll be able to help them make a difference in their lives. I also see two income streams coming for you, and I see the relationship. Now, the relationship is going to come once you're a little bit settled and the weather gets warmer, and you already know that this is coming, and there is so much success for you that I am really excited, and I am making a promise right here on live on this. You can hold me to it. I will come visit you when you are all settled and things are easier for travel. You will have an amazing partner. You will do amazing things together. You will be traveling, you'll be relaxing, and you'll be generating an income, because there are various income streams that you know how to pursue. Okay. Without further ado, I am on to question number 2. I intend that has answered some of your questions. This is a really exciting time for you. Continue to do your psychotronics work. Continue to create your future the way that you want it to be, and know that it is so. So it's really beautiful, and congratulations on all of your wonderful accomplishments that you have put forth in the last few months. Okay. I was going to say it's a very long question. It's really not. I'm going to abbreviate it right now. And this is for DT out of New York. DT met a man. They've been inseparable for over a month. They even went away together for a weekend. Now, there is some things that are baffling DT, and that is that they are not romantic. They have hugged, they have snuggled. However, DT is confused by this relationship. She says, I have this amazing connection, and why not be physical? Okay, so there's a couple of clues in here already, DT. TD, I'm sorry. Oh, TD. Oh, apologies, TD. There are a couple of clues over here. Now, TD is asking questions. I feel questions. Okay, is he not attracted to me? Is he scared? Is he scared? Is he looking for anything, or doesn't think I'm right for him? I don't know. I'm very confused. Okay, let's talk about this first. It's in the language. So there are a few things. First of all, nobody's going to spend time. Let's get some things straight over here, TD. No one's going to spend this much time with you if they don't like you. taking your lead. Now, what that looks like is he himself is unsure as to where this is going, what you want, and he does see you in a space of healing. So this is a psychic suggestion. If you want to take this relationship to the physical plane, then both of you are going to have to graduate in the conversations from trauma sharing. Now, as much as that is difficult, the trauma sharing and the healing conversations are going to have to get framed so that you are not trauma sharing and talking healing, trauma, heavy feelings, growth and development with one another. If this relationship is to go to the next level, this relationship will then need to take on a lighter way of being. So that would mean altering the conversation immediately, turning it into something more lighthearted and more created, as opposed to going into the darker depths of what was and the traumas of the past and the healings that need to be. So there is a way of healing each other and past relationships, and it does not have to be through shared trauma experiences. I get that he's been very slow and reticent because part of him believes that you still need to heal. So if that is the energy that you're putting out, then it's time for you to change that energy and go into a space of more lightheartedness, and he will respond accordingly. So you want to check the frequency on this one. All right. It's not that he's not into you. It's not that he doesn't care for you, because nobody spends this much time with anybody if they're not into them and don't care about them. So stop asking yourself those questions. You want to reframe the way that you are speaking. Now, if you want more detail on this, I will suggest that you give me a call for either a 15 or 30-minute consultation on this one, only because there is a lot of advice that I can give you that is not part of the psychic reading. So some of the things that I am seeing over here is that once you start, again, remember the quote from Max Planck, once you change the way that you look at things, the things you look at change. That is just out of the quantum. That is the quantum nature of reality. We live in a quantum universe. We operate with quantum mechanics and quantum physics. So you're looking at this, from what I understand from the email that you sent me, you're looking at it from a place of lack and what you cannot have. Now, if you were to turn that around and start to look at it from a place of what I can have, what I can create with this person, what I can have with the lightness of being, I can have romance, then you're able to turn this around and change it. And that is what I'm seeing. However, it begins with the frequency that you're currently vibrating in. Again, the frequency that I'm picking up from your email alone is that you're vibrating in a frequency of not being able to have what you want. Not being able to have what you want is a lack frequency. You want to turn this around into an exciting frequency of, this is a fabulous relationship that I'm creating. This is a wonderful person I'm hanging around with. This person wants me. This person finds me sexy, attractive. This person finds me intelligent and bright. So all of these things that will start to change the energy in this relationship. All right, intending that has helped, because I'm not seeing the two of you hanging around for nothing, okay? It just doesn't feel or look that way. Okay. Oh, I didn't notice that I was breaking up, but it is better now. Yeah, this is what happens when we're live on the internet. And I'm not out of a studio yet, even though that may be a possibility. But for now, I am out of my home. And a really funny story about intentionality and causing and creating things. One of the main reason I switched from Tuesday to Wednesday was because the gardeners have been working here in this place where I live. That's an apartment building complex. For the last 2 years, they have been coming every single Tuesday, without a doubt. And they work right below my window on Tuesday mornings at 10 o'clock. And so I always had created this story or created this belief that the reason why the podcast was having problems was because the gardeners were out there mowing and leaf blowing and making all kinds of interference with God knows what. Anyway, guess who changed their date and have now started working on Wednesdays? Yes, it is almost like pinch me. They are now here Wednesdays. They started today. So they started a bit earlier. They are not outside my window right now. But to me, this was just like, is this for real? Okay. So today I want to talk about two more things. Does anybody have any questions? There are people on the call right now. If anybody here has a question or would like to ask something, right now is the perfect time to ask a question. All right, I'll give you a moment. How do you ask a question? Well, you can either type it in or you can hit the call button on your iPhone or on your phone, and then you can just call right in. You will need a headset to do that. So if you do want to call right in, come on in. Oh, I have one more question. I totally almost forgot this one. Okay, this was submitted from Greece, from someone named George. And George says that after listening to the podcast with Michaela from young Wanda from WandaVision, she says George says, at first I want to be an American citizen only so that I can vote for you in the future. So Michaela's been doing some wonderful work. You can see her videos on YouTube. She is an advocate for sustainability and planetary awareness. So she's not just making movies that are entertaining. She's actually looking to make a difference in the way that people view the planet and how they think about treating the planet. She's got a major project going on right now, and you can check that out on her YouTube channel. I think it's Inspired Kids, or just look her up, Michaela Russell. Anyway, George had a couple of questions for Michaela, and even though I can't answer them because she was unavailable to answer these questions today, I will get back at some point, or we'll have her back on the call. But George's questions were that he's a huge fan and he's inspired by her work both in movies and on YouTube. And George wanted to know the relationship with Marvel before WandaVision and Ant-Man. And if you have, of course, thought about what it is, one thing you would like to do for the world. Well, if you follow Michaela, you know that there are a number of things that she would like to do for the world. And what is your favorite movie? Is there any role that you would like to have in the future? Okay, fondly, George from Greece. And so I'm going to come back and circle back to those questions in the future. After I have spoken to Michaela, and perhaps she'll be able to answer them directly. And I'll get back to you, George from Greece. Okay, thanks for asking. Okay, we got a question over here. Hi, Elly. I finally got my first voiceover gig. Congratulations. You helped me with positive self-talk, and I believed it helped immensely. Do you have any advice as I continue? Absolutely. Deb, absolutely. So congratulations. I am so happy to hear this. So my advice to you is very similar to my advice to Tomas. What we do is we want to create our vision. We want to create our future. We want to see it real. So one of the things that you'll be doing now is get really clear on what it is that you want to have next. So where do you want to go with this? So take a look at that, because psychically, one of the things I'm seeing is that you're going to be divinely guided into the what's next for you, and you're going to fall in love. You are going to fall in love, DW, with either your next gig or what it is that you're going to, I'm going to call it your next gig, or what it is that you're going to be doing. This next job that you're going to, I don't want to call it a job, this next opportunity that you have is going to be so profoundly big for you that you're going to pinch yourself and fall in love with it. So now one of the things that you can do, of course, is change your self-talk. Number one, get clear on what it is that you want. Do you want this really big gig that I'm seeing up here? If it's a yes, then you may want to start doing self-talk every single day, that today something amazing is going to happen. Today something really big is going to happen for me. I'm really excited about it. I don't know what it is. Okay, I got it. I don't know what it is, but I'm really excited about it. Today something really amazing is coming into my life. Today opportunities are going to come into my life. These opportunities are amazing. I don't know what they are, but I'm really excited about them. Now, this kind of self-talk, using your body and your emotions, will bring in and call in the opportunities that you are looking for. If you're sitting there and you're going, oh, you know what, today is going to be really exciting. Something great is coming today. Well, you don't believe that, and neither will the universe or the frequency that you're just going to get that. So again, it's not just affirmations. We always talk about affirmations. It's not even the affirmation itself. It's the connection to the affirmation. If you say, oh, I'm going to be a multimillionaire, I now have multi-millions. If you don't believe that, and your tonation is boring and bland because it's reflecting that you don't believe that, well, you know what? It's not going to happen. You're not going to be the one to win the lottery. I don't mean to be negative over here, only your chance of winning the lottery will be very slight, as will your chance of becoming a multimillionaire. Think about Andrew Carnegie. When Andrew Carnegie set out to become a leader in the industry and a financially highly successful man, there was no Google, there was no internet, there was no social media for him to post. He had to do it all through his own vision, his psychotronic power, setting his goals or his objectives, and moving mountains, parting seas. And he did it with clarity. He did it with his intentionality. He knew where he was going, and he believed he was going to get there. And it is an energy and a frequency. And if you don't have it, that's called faking it till you make it. You want to get that energy and that frequency into your body. That's where it's at. This is mind, body, spirit connection. Okay. All right. Anyway, I do hope that, I intend that helped, Deb. And if not, I'm always here for a session. You get a 20% discount. All you need to do is say, hey, I heard you on the podcast. I'd like to set up a session. Okay. I want to anybody have a question that's on here right now? I want to make a plug for a company. Now, I am not involved with these people. I do not have any financial gain from any of this. However, what I do get from this is the happiness and joy of sharing what 8 conscious women from local businesses have put together. They put it together for Earth Day, and they put it together for the spring, and it's called the Roots Revival Box, Rise Up. It is an earth conscious, beautifully packaged, sustainable gift from 8 women, owned and local businesses. They focus on conscious consumerism, rooting down and upward growth, rejuvenation, new beginnings, and springtime revival. Really, how cool is that? And this collaborative group of women released a wonderful Roots Revival Box. It's got earth-friendly products in there, fresh lavender plants, organic goat's milk soap, local honey, seeds, and pollinators. Then local artists have included fine art highlighting subjects and materials from nature. So if you are interested in purchasing this product, you have a few more days. Just email me. The proceeds are going to to Buffalo Niagara Waterkeepers to help support the work that they do to preserve and protect water tables, a critical piece of environmental work right here in New York. So if you're interested in this, email me and I will get you the information ASAP. Remember, your support of this is you're supporting local businesses and you're also supporting environmental issues and bringing awareness to the planet. Okay. Here's where I want to go today. I still have a few minutes unless anybody has questions for me, but I want to talk about something that is very important. When we're looking at the future right now, remember I said George Santayana said that those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. And while that may not sound very hopeful, it does if you are consciously aware, because you could say, okay, this was my past and I am not going to repeat it. And this also means politically right now. The rift that we've been in, called the New Earth, I call it a new Epistem, the Age of Aquarius, it's known in ancient texts. Anyway, it's been predicted for so long. And we first began noticing these stages. Well, not us, because we weren't around, but these first stages started coming on the scene actually in the early 1800s and 1900s. But it's an episteme. It takes this long to catch on. The first mind teachers, science of mind, these people were around 1800s, 1900s. They hadn't been organized yet. But it takes a long time for an episteme to come into fruition. And if you're familiar with the works of philosopher, linguist, and historian Michael Foucault, then you're going to know that epistemes are not singular linear trajectory towards more knowledge, but these are perspectives and conversations, discoveries and insight that disrupt the current cultural perspective. There are historically only 3 major epistemes in over the last 800 years in Western European culture. And we are currently in one. However, we cannot see it. Most of us cannot see it, because how are you going to see the forest if you're stuck in the middle of the tree? So in order to understand the episteme, we want to look at the conscious behavior of a culture or the unconscious behavior. So the conscious rules of the society are rules that we know and understand consciously and make decisions according to. However, the unconscious levels determine what we think, what we write, how we behave, and these are deeply embedded into our society and our belief system. As an example, in the Middle Ages, what was considered scientific knowledge would be ridiculed by today's science. However, at the time of those teachings and that knowledge, it was scientific. So we don't have a whole lot of time to go into the episteme today. We have about 3 minutes, but I do want to share with you some of the things that we want to be paying attention to, because through language, we have the power to shift and change this. It was and has been, we don't learn from the past, history repeats itself. We are now in a phase, a trajectory that we have seen coming. We had hoped for it to change. This trajectory is going to be part of the greater rift that is coming. Now, this is very, very multi-level layered right here, because many people who have been paying attention to the Great Rift and wanting to make these cultural changes have been, what's the word I'm going to use, trolled up and turned into conspiracy theorists, especially baby boomers. And then, of course, in order to promote the conspiracy theorists, looking at this very wildly strange, really strange and bizarre things had to get added so that people who were waking up and are waking up could be totally discredited. So what's happening right now is that we are heading back into historic things of the past. Many people are way too young to remember gas lines during the 70s, wars overseas, and when we talk about this, and we speak about this too, and don't take offense, younger people listening to this, when I speak about this to younger people, I get to hear, oh, you're just a boomer. You're just a boomer. You're just a boomer. None of that is going to happen. None of that is true. So I have been predicting, and I'm going to call it the war machine. I have been predicting that the war machine, the belly of the beast over here, is getting active and looking to warm up. And it's been kind of dormant for a while, and it needs to get ignited. And well, it doesn't need to, but there are people that believe that it needs to, especially people that operate from fear that the economy may change and get taken away from certain people who do control the economy. Now, when I talk like this, of course, I get to hear boomer, conspiracy theorist, boomer, boomer. I'm just going to leave it like this because we're at the half hour. Pay attention to what is going on. Pay attention to what's happening in Israel and Hamas. Remember, look where Israel is. Look at the power that Israel is. I'm not talking conspiracy. Just keep your eyes open. Pay attention to the gas lines. Pay attention to everything that is happening. I happen to know firsthand that a particular friend of mine sent me an email, went to 5 gas stations yesterday between Florida and Virginia, not 5 there. Okay, but he's in Virginia, went to 5 gas stations, unable to get gas. All right, this is just the beginning. Now we have the possibility of changing this. Now, how do we change this again? We change this through psychotronic power. We change this through language. We change this through awareness and intention. We do not want to be part of the war machine. At least people listening to my podcast, I intend that you do not want to be part of the war machine, nor do you want to be part of inflation prices. As you can see, prices of food are going up. You can read that on NPR. Israel-Gaza violence, death toll rises as the UN envoy warns of over-escalation. I mean, these are making our headlines. What happened to COVID? Okay, just like I said, pay attention, truly wake up, make your own decisions, get informed, and then, my opinion, start to choose the power of psychotronics and what it is that you want for the world and your reality. Create your reality. Create your reality from the space of love. Okay, Deb is saying it would be great if you offered a class about this topic. Okay, taking notes. I will do that. I will get this all organized, and it will be it'll just be a 1-day thing. It doesn't have to be too long. It could be 2 hours, and I'll get this all. Oh, and just by the way, I am doing a very special and unique presentation on Madame Lenormand. And Lenormand, she was the French fortune teller during Napoleon Bonaparte and Marie Antoinette Robespierre. And people really people from all over, kings and queens, came to visit her because fortune telling back in France at that time was illegal. Only she had a really big following of kings and queens and royalty, and she read for them. And so this gets back to who goes to see psychics and intuitives. We know that J.P. Morgan did, and he was known to say millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. So if you're interested in learning more about this presentation on May 27th on Madame Lenormand, it is by invitation only, as I am not doing it. I am a presenter at the Insights Atelier Salon, and it is free. You just need to email me at elly@ellymolina.com or send me a text message via text, and I will get you an invitation to this. It will be on May 27th at noon Eastern time. It will be an hour and a half lively discussion about Madame Lenormand, the tarot, and astrology, and people who use astrology and psychics today. Okay, everybody, I am 3 minutes over. I thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to putting together a class on the new Epistem and what we can do for this. And I thank all of you again for being here, and I do intend that your questions were answered. So blessings to all of you. I will see you next Wednesday at 10 o'clock. Join us live. Thank you, thank you, thank you.